Alright, Ohm turn 50. So yep, just, more magical troops always every turn. Take a look at our gem stocks. You can see like this is definitely starting to take a toll. This stuff is not free. This is definitely one of the reasons that like people are like, Terracotta Army, or what, it's like some of this stuff people are like, it's kind of a waste of gems. Because there's gems that I can't use on cooler stuff with higher levels of research. But we need troops right now. So yeah, still trying to search for magic sites a little bit. Didn't find any. 3 profits going up, so that's kind of random. But I guess still a lot of people in this game. McLovin Craft, nice. Child Feaster, yeah, fantastic. And then had a few battles. I think it's mostly just raiding. Yeah, so another raiding force of ours coming out, and then we caught some Vanheim raiding against Jabalba. I don't actually think we've seen Vanheim's Bless. So these are their sacreds. They're super notorious. They have 2 pretty high damage attacks. I mean, this guy they're boosted because he's got a lot of experience because he's been killing a lot of people. He doesn't even have any afflictions. But yeah, their stats are really good anyway. And then they have the glamour and everything, so they're hard to deal with. And then they're super stealthy, and they're berserkers, like really high level. That +5 berserker, I think it means he gets like even more protection because you can just be like berserker +0. So anyway, I think he gets extra protection when he berserks. And then of course they're sacred. So let's see what the bless is. And a lot of stuff. Magic weapons, so that's really good. We've seen that. A lot of shock resistance, a lot of poison. That sucks for me. No foul vapors against these guys, and they're like completely protected. Fire resistance, cold resistance, so all the resistances. A little bit of reinvigoration, blood surge. We've seen. Not sure about the mountain survival. I mean, I guess it's kind of nice to help him move around. He probably just had some extra earth and was like, yeah, sure, mountain survival. And then a bunch of undead leadership, which is kind of interesting. Obviously doesn't help these guys. I don't know if Vanheim, I don't think they normally get a lot of death. But yeah, I mean, it never hurts. Usually you can find some death somewhere and like wriggle your way in. And he may have it on his pretender. And if you don't have a lot of death mages, then trying to lead around those undead can be, a real hassle. Anyway, they're gonna have no trouble with just Bone Tribe PD is like not bad PD, and this is not like no PD, so we can just there's only a couple of them, but they're just easy. Just bye bye. Yep. So anyway, Van Heers. They are a thing. People rush with these. You don't want to see these early. That's just it's so sad. I've never been rushed by them, thankfully, but I'm sure at some point in my Dominion's career. And I mean, this is also part of like why I'm just really worried about Vanheim, being on my southern border. But anyway, so it's great to see him chopping up, bat people and not us. And then just raiding back, and then more Van Heers, just cleaning some stuff out. Oh, and then so this is at Abyssea's capital. So I kind of gave that away, but Abyssea's kind of been on the back foot here. Although it doesn't look like this was without loss for so I think we've kind of seen all this before. Hopefully maybe get to see these sacred summons get into combat instead of just guarding. I haven't seen this. Sleeper. This is like a general you can summon with nature magic. And he's got inspirational and really good leadership, so that can be nice for some nations that don't have good leaders. This allows you to do like all the formations, and he gives a morale boost. He's actually not the worst thug either. His hit points aren't amazing, but they're better than human level, and his stats are really good. And he just comes with like magic weapons. His protection is good. So anyway, honestly, this is like something that I really probably should look into because we have nature. Well, okay, we don't have any nature gems right now, but that is something that we get, and we have nature mages. And I don't really have thug chassis, so I hadn't really until recently considered thugging these guys. But I think it would be possible. Not amazing, but anyway. So yeah, some Legions of Steel, you know, the water elementals, Howl. Yeah, we've seen that before. I don't know if these guys had any gems. It didn't look like they had any slaves, so maybe his blood hunting operations had collapsed. I mean, that's one thing, like, you know, the gem sites are a heck of a lot easier because, you know, you just have to have the province, and I mean, it has to be connected to a lab, but yeah, then you just get the gems. Whereas, like, with the blood hunting, it's like you got to keep the unrest down in that province. You got to make sure that you have mages that are blood hunting every turn. You got to make sure that the blood slaves are making it, you know, into a lab so that they go into your pool, you know, of usable like gems. You know, and then obviously like people can attack your blood hunting operations, and then it's like, you know, if you lose those blood hunters, then you got to replace them. And so anyway, yeah, I mean, blood definitely takes a lot more work, and so it's easy to run out of blood slaves. So, you know, maybe that's what's happened to him here. And yeah, this guy has an astral pearl. Not sure. You know, just a lot of body ethereal buffing themselves. Yeah, that must have been, so, you know, some fire gems. You see the fire elemental just immediately going after a wolf, which, like, okay, I guess. Some mind burn on wolves. Yeah, Howl really doing work. Although it looks like, okay, so he must have had some blood slaves, because yeah, he got some imps out. So yeah, I guess his blood hunting operations haven't collapsed completely. And yeah, imps are like kind of a classic. They're really low research in blood. And yeah, I don't think they're normally ethereal, so you probably buffed them a little bit, which is pretty impressive actually, because I think they just jump in like right away. So they can be kind of tough to buff. And like they're not very good. Like you can see, like you know, I mean, their attack and defense is okay, but the protection sucks, and their hit points suck, and you know, I don't know, they're susceptible to cold. I guess it makes sense. And then yeah, being a demon can be bad. So like higher level priests can, like, you know, hit them with like anti-demon spells. So yeah, I mean, the imps, you know, tend to not do a whole, you know, they're kind of like just trash you can throw into the back line to mess with people, similar to like how I've been using Swarm and stuff like that. So anyway, imps are just really good for that. And, you know, I mean, against unprotected mages, you know, you get them in enough numbers, like, yeah, I mean, they definitely can get kills, like, no question. So not great, but, you know, just distracting the mages, like, keeping them busy. He's got a lot of bodyguards and everything, and then, of course, you know, the wolves helping out. So, yeah, I think these imps are not long for this world, probably won't really do too much. And then, yeah, this fire elemental at least starting to move forward. Looks like he's got some sort of death mage that, you know, brought in some solace. And yeah, a lot of body ethereal, you know, which is good. These guys have routed. But anyway, like, I mean, yeah, with the good protection, you know, and then, you know, with ethereal, like, if you're up against mundane weapons, which I think, well, yeah, okay, the summons are going in. Not blessed, so that hurts a little bit. But they have magic weapons, so yeah. But anyway, not the worst plan. You know, to throw ethereal on everything, because yeah, he's got a lot of astral guys. And yeah, you know, these fire elementals just hanging out. They're not very fast, even. Well, I don't know. Combat speed 13. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, it's getting boosted, no doubt, because you know, this is Abyssea's capital. So like, yeah, getting a bonus. But yeah, I mean, 10 is not bad. I don't know. I guess, like, you know, yeah, the wolves, still the wolves. So yeah, I mean, Howl really putting in work here. But he is managing to keep the gate locked for a little bit, but yeah, they're starting to push through. You can see, like, how it can cause, like, some problems, right? The wolves are just, like, jamming up, you know, preventing, like, some of these sacred units from getting through. And yeah, I don't know, this is okay, yeah, I really, and I think I've said this before, attack rear when you're doing castle assaults, right? Because, like, these guys are, you know, trying to get up on the walls, and, like, you know, now, like, these guys aren't going to do anything anyway, right? These are our battle axe friends, but, like, now they can do stuff, you know, and these wolves are, like, preventing, you know, actual troops from, you know, getting it's just the line of wolves here. And, you know, nobody's going to the back to, like, actually deal with these mages, so they have time to, well, they're probably out of gems, but, you know, time to cast more spells, more mind burn, like, whatever. So yeah, and then looks like maybe he didn't have any bodyguards. He just got lucky there were some troops back there to deal with the imps. But yeah, so these mages are probably realistically out of range. It can be kind of tough, you know, to have mages if you don't have them on, like, advance and cast spells, which is dangerous. But yeah, these guys are probably out of range realistically to do too much. And yeah, these fire elementals now finally actually, like, getting into combat, doing some work. I think, yeah, they're ethereal as well, although again, these summons, but you know, trying to get up on the walls, what a disaster. I think, you know, if you'd done attack rear, I mean, you know, these guys, we've seen them before, you know, they got the luck and the ethereal combo, and like that's pretty effective, and when they get point blank, you know, there's some real nasty spells they can cast, so yeah, you know, I actually didn't pay attention. Did win this, right? Because this is not looking great. I mean, I guess, like, you know, how, like, eventually, like, wolves, like, can, like, I think, yeah, here's a guy that's routed. Yeah, I mean, these water elementals still doing work. I don't know, he probably is out of gems, yeah. And you see, like, this guy's old, this guy's old, this guy's not, so that's cool. And that guy's not. But anyway, yeah, that's Burden of Time, almost for sure. I'm not super familiar with, you know, Ur's mages, but I don't think they're old. And Abyssia has old age problems anyway, partially just because of the whole fire mage. These guys aren't fire mages, but yeah, they have, you know, a bunch of like high level fire guys, so they just have really low max ages. But just in general, like Abyssia just has like age problems. But like, yeah, all these, you can see like old age is 35 for this guy. So yeah, Abyssians, I don't know, they don't live very long for whatever reason, you know, the lore. So yeah, anyway, Burden of Time is going to be even worse for them because like just, yeah, it's almost guaranteed all their guys are going to be old. But yeah, it does look like is going to come away with this. They finally cleared out everybody on top of the walls. It's super important to get rid of those battle axe guys. And yeah, now just, you know, yeah, he's running. And if you retreat in a siege defense, you die. But yeah, honestly, like, kind of close. But yeah, Hal definitely putting in work. Yeah, you can see that point blank stuff. Pretty nasty. Yeah. And that's definitely like where advance and cast spells can be really useful, you know, because like this guy, I mean, he doesn't have to because, you know, they got to come to him for like this defense. But yeah, sometimes advance and cast spells can. Abyssia, I feel like, is definitely a nation that can take advantage of that command quite effectively. But you know, it puts more risk for your mages. But yeah. Whew. So yeah. I don't know, I guess, you know, he lost, right, like, so many kills, but that's mostly, like, wolves. So, you know, I mean, these spear guards, we've seen them before, you know, they're not cheap, so, you know, could have been a cleaner win, and he lost most of these sacreds, you know, which are summons, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what gems they cost or how expensive they are, but you can see, I mean, they got a lot of kills, also probably a lot of summons, but, you know, still, like, he lost most of them, so that definitely hurts. Didn't lose any casters, though, so overall, you know, I mean, yeah, and I mean, Abyssia lost everything, so, you know, it worked out. So yeah, anyway, Abyssia's, yeah, they're probably done. And then, of course, yeah, our guys getting old age, Burden of Time hitting us, and then, yeah, there's the fertility stuff that we saw, was, you know, coming in, but yeah, losing Dominion everywhere, which is a little, like I said, a little scary. Our Dominion is not great. So you can see, like, we don't even have, like, all of our provinces, and even the provinces we have, like, 1, 3, 10 is the max, and, like, yeah, and so at least there's no enemy dominion in these ones, so yeah, anyway, and even on our capital, like, only 4, and in fact, I think what happened, how do we tell, hang on, I think it's at the we don't have a lot of temples either is the other thing, because we kind of been strapped for cash. Like, we only have, I mean, so you start with a temple in your capital, so I have that one still, that's good, and then I built one down here in Khaleesi's capital, because I just kind of wanted another center, like, of dominion, you know, to try to spread. I would really like to get a temple here, you know, to try to keep strong dominion, like, along this axis. But yeah, I mean, just haven't had the money, because, like, yeah, stronger dominion, it's harder to break down. I forget the exact, like, calculations, but basically, long story short, if you have really high dominion, it's very difficult for enemy dominion to move into there, and it will put extra pressure on surrounding provinces for your dominion. So you really want at least a few centers of high dominion, because I mean, yeah, like, that's a way that you can lose. Like, we saw that with Agartha, you know what I mean? Agartha was screwed, right? So it's like, that's you know, not their fault. You know, they were already in trouble. So, but you know, yeah, and Macone actually is somebody that can kind of take advantage of that strategy. Certain nations, Macone has Inquisitor priests, I believe. So let's see, Pretenders of the World. Where are you? Yeah. Yeah, so Inquisitor. So when they're preaching against other faiths, their priest level is doubled. So they're just more effective at like removing your dominion. So, you know, if he were to attack me and like move in and then like start to preach away my dominion, you know, like it's pretty low. Like that could go down really fast. So, I mean, it doesn't, you know, we're okay right now. You know, we have decent dominion, and like, you know, again, like our scales are not, they're not fantastic. And I mean, a lot of this growth, at least one of this growth, I think is coming from those events. So it's not like super critical that our dominion, you know, be everywhere in our provinces. You know, and we have enough right now that we'll be okay. But yeah, our max dominion is only 4, because I think it started at 5, and I think we lost a point of dominion when we called our god back. Because we didn't lose any magic paths. So when your god dies, there's a chance that they're going to lose magic paths, and there's a chance that they'll lose dominion strength. And we lost dominion strength, and our dominion strength is already not great. So we only have 4 and only have 2 temples, so that's definitely something we need to keep an eye on. So anyway, yeah, these events and stuff, it's like, yeah, like growth, that's good, cool, province income, but like, ooh, that could come back to bite us, the minus dominion. And then, yeah, just more minus dominion. So anyway, not right now. Jarls are the problem. So yeah, doing some counter raiding. You know, moving in to recapture this. You know, moving a force is probably, yeah. You know, just these warrior maidens, you know, are really good. So they're gonna be cleaning up province defense, no problem. And if they run into Jarls, then we lose them. And then yeah, it looks like we're jumping on top of this fort. Yeah, this is our air elemental caster, and then yeah, you know, this force with our god. This force is kind of unproven. I don't know if it has foul vapors in it, which is a little scary, because that's definitely been helping us. Although I guess, I mean, we did manage to get the kills without it. Although I think we have fewer. Yeah, you know, there's a couple swords in here, I think 4, so that's not bad, but don't really have the Vine Ogres, so yeah, that could be a problem. And, you know, I mean, we just have some regular troops too, which, like, you know, yeah, but we do have these guys, these whites, these ones are kind of messed up, but, you know, anyway. They have a chance with this Bane Blade. You know, it's magic damage, so they don't care about that invulnerability. And, you know, they can decay, so that could matter if the battle goes on long enough. We'd have to have it go on a long time. But we do have a lot of trash, right? And the giants do kill guys kind of slow. And like, none of these guys can get sucked up by the soul vortex, so they're gonna have to kill them, you know, the old-fashioned way, just hitting them one at a time. So, you know, if one of them gets decayed, like, the battle may go on long enough. Like, you know, these guys don't have any morale, right? So they don't care. And I think, like, same with these guys, right? No morale. So, like, you know, he's got to kill basically all of them unless our mage's morale fails. Really probably should get, like, some morale hats for them, because, yeah, I mean, their morale is, like, not fantastic. But these guys at least don't care about dying, which is good, because they're gonna die a lot if we run into some Jarls. And if he doesn't defend, then, yeah, we'll put this fort under threat. There's a possibility we run into this army. I really think he's gonna come here, but right, because this is like not a I mean, unless he really wants this fort, or if he's worried, you know, about me jumping on this, so that could be a problem. But although honestly, like, so there's no Jarls, right? No. Well, yeah, just Neefle Giants, right? So there's no Jarls here, and I think there is. Yeah, there's 4 here. So, yeah, that could be bad. You know, 4 Jarls versus 4 swords is a bit of a risky move, honestly. But we're going in. So, yeah. And then the other thing, too, is we're also trying to move out with this army down into here. Because... yeah, again, there's no Jarls in this province. Now, these 4 could move back to here, but that'd be kind of a weird move because, you know, it doesn't really, right, it's kind of a wasted turn if I'm not moving out to attack him, which, like, you know, he doesn't really have any reason to think I would necessarily. So, you know, it would be kind of weird to just, you know, sit here with this army and move Jarls back, or, like, you know, to move these Jarls onto, I mean, this guy maybe, but he's probably going to come here, to clean this out, because that's what he's been doing, is just kind of recapturing this territory that I've raided, which again just highlights the importance of raiding, right? That's a Jarl that I hopefully don't have to deal with for a little while. But yeah, I think he's got 3 Jarls here, he's got a Jarl here. These Jarls could also come in, right? So it's like, I really think he's going to consolidate onto here. So yeah, but we're moving out. So if we can, it really depends, right? So like, if he is trying to consolidate, there's a chance that we'll fight the battle here, which would be great, because this army is kind of unsupported, and like, I think we'll crush it. And also, for whatever reason, this province, you'll note, there's no cold in it. I don't know what's going on here, because like everywhere else, right, like I have cold dominion, he has cold dominion, like everywhere else is just like cold 3, like as far as the eye can see, basically, but so there's probably like some site, I don't know, something's going on here, but it's neutral temperature scales, which is actually really good news for me, because I'm pretty sure these Rimveti also have cold power, and if his Jarls move in, right, they're not getting the advantage of cold power, like their chill aura is not as effective. So anyway, it would be good to fight a battle here, and if he doesn't move his Jarls in, it would be great to destroy this army unsupported. If he moves in, then we'll probably fight a battle on top of here, which I mean, like, this is what I have, right? Like, this is my strongest force. Like, we've seen this work before. So if we're gonna have a fight, like, this isn't the worst time or place to take it. Like, maybe arguably wait, like leave them in here, and wait until I can like link up with this, so I can just throw everything. But I'm not sure that, like, definitely the more swords would help. But the other stuff, I'm not really sure, like stacking even more chaff onto this. I mean, if I had more Vine Ogres, that'd be nice. Although, again, they're sort of snacks, so... yeah, so I'm just not even sure that bringing more stuff, other than maybe splitting the swords off, would help. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really like just statically defending. I prefer, because the thing of it is, if he doesn't jump on this fort and I just sit here, then it's like, well, I didn't do anything, right? I didn't recapture any territory. I didn't, just sitting, losing. So yeah, I prefer to try to be proactive. And this is, a bit of a throw of the dice, but I mean, you're going to get into these situations where you need to throw some dice. So yeah, we're putting some marbles up. We'll see what happens. Not quite all the marbles, we'll still have this force. We're moving, I think, yeah, these guys are moving out with just, more, just whatever we got, what we've summoned. Mostly terracotta warriors, and some undead. You can see, like, we've chewed through basically all of our fire gems. We're super low on water gems, not a lot of air gems. Chewed up most of our death, just locked at 0 for the nature, and we're even, starting to run through our earth gems, which you had like, 120 or something. So yeah, I mean, this war is costing us a lot. Like, this hurts a lot, for like late game stuff, to like burn a bunch of gems, like on kind of these like just really kind of trashy summons, is definitely going to hurt like our long-term prospects for actually winning this game. But again, like, realistically, just because I had like such brutal war with the stupid monolith, I'm already in a bad position realistically to like, actually like just win the whole game. So for me at this point, it's more worth it, to invest, gems into like actually like surviving and winning, and, honestly just getting like more experience like in the mid game and the late game, versus like, trying to conserve the gems because maybe I'll get to use them later, and then just losing to the Jarls, because like that is absolutely a thing that could happen. But anyway, yeah, it does hurt to burn up these gem stocks like that. So yeah, and then we switched up to research again a little bit. So it does look like I agreed, and I thought that was like, okay, 4 probably again for the Blade Wind is going to be useful, but 5 was a mistake, so I got rid of that. Good work, past me. And then going to construction 7 next, and then we talked about alterations, so we do still want that, but prioritizing construction 7 first. And I think the main reason for that is weapons of sharpness. And so this is a good AoE buff for our troops, and it just everybody deals armor piercing damage. which is just, really important for if you're up against like high protection stuff, which, the Jarls do have pretty good protection. It's not really going to help us, I don't think, against the invulnerability. So that could be a bit of a problem because, we don't really have like a great way to get large numbers of magic weapons. Honestly, like maybe in the future would put that on the Bless, because like our Sacreds are sort of mediocre, but like, if they had magic weapons, and like we had like a squad of those guys, that would help us a lot against like these Jarls. So like maybe as like anti-super combatant tech. But I mean, I don't know. The great swords are doing all right. Anyway, so yeah, weapons of sharpness will definitely help, make our regular troops a little more relevant again. And then Forge of the Ancients is something we can cast. Of course, it costs a lot of earth gems, and we're burning through those, so probably not going to be able to. But anyway, it just reduces item cost for forging items, and you can forge this Master Smith just lets you forge like higher level items than you normally would be able to. So I mean, a pretty good one, honestly, for Ulm. I mean, like our forging is already good, so kind of doubling down on your strength can definitely help. But we still don't really have like a ton of great chassis. It's like, okay, we're giving great swords to these guys, but this is not like a fantastic strategy. Like these guys aren't super scary. There's plenty of answers to these guys. So, I don't know, doubling down on making items, like we really need some more research. I think, like, maybe get some conjuration to get some scarier guys to give weapons to. But anyway, that is an option. Like, we do have high earth on our pretender, so that's not the worst thing. We can't make golems, which is, again, maybe something I would put on a future Almish pretender. We don't really have any astral income, but if you had like a dormant or awake guy that had some astral on him, you could get enough income so that by later in the game, because you're not gonna get to 7 right away, you could actually have some astral pearls saved up. But yeah, golems, you see them quite a bit. They're a commander. People use them as like thugs and like kind of super combatant. They can be a little super combatant-y. They're mindless, in constructs, so they're kind of weird. They interact differently with a lot of stuff. Like for instance, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't get hit by Soul Vortex because I'm pretty sure they're inanimate. So anyway, yeah, they're definitely something that people use quite a bit. You see golems, but yeah, I don't have any astral, so not something we can take advantage of this game. But anyway, weapons of sharpness, I think will definitely be a nice pickup. And then yeah, we've talked about alteration before. And then yeah, research, going up a little bit. I think starting to deploy probably like some. Yeah, here's a lantern, and you can see like with the quill and the lantern. What is her overall research? Yeah, 27. You compare that to, let's see, we don't actually, oh yeah, and she's not research, but it'll still tell us. Yeah, so 11 with no boosters. So yeah, I mean, these boosters help out a ton. I mean, the owl quills we've been making for a while, they give some research, but yeah, I mean, this is the most in the game. It is tainted, so eventually your mages will get horror marked. And so yeah, eventually they'll get eaten by horrors, which is a downside for sure. But it takes a long time, and so like it's kind of worth it. And then I usually try to put them on like kind of more marginal mages. So like we kind of have a lot of these Amazons stacked up, and like they're okay, but like just this one's like split path is like not great. Really looking for these double paths. These guys can cast foul vapors with like, you need a thistle mace on them, and you can boost them with gems. So I mean, you can wriggle your way into some useful stuff with them. But they're definitely, I have a couple already, so it's like, sure, throw a lantern on one if one of them gets eaten by horrors eventually, like whatever. And like probably start throwing them on like I mean, this guy's like this guy, and like these guys especially, like these paths not super useful, so hey, here's a lantern, buddy, it'll be fine. So yeah, yes, income, I mean, we're using it all, but at least getting some. And I think that more or less covers it. We definitely have less information on like kind of what's going on in the world, but yeah, are seeing these guys fight, which is good. So yeah, that's turn 50.